Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Mike at Northwest School of Fly Fishing, the old fish hobo. And it's late November, it's winter. It's really the onset of winter, but I gotta go fishing. I'm fishing somewhere every week, somewhere on some river here in the Northwest. And I've been used to this time of year as I'm really searching for places to fish where I can catch that late season blue-winged olive hatch, size 20 blue-winged olives. And that's really where my mindset as the weekend approached. And I was looking at the alternatives that I had. I kind of wanted to go somewhere where there wasn't a lot of people, but yet the one river I really wanted to go to, they were working on the turbines, and there was too much water flowing for this time of year and for me to go down there. And we just had some rain, and another river I wanted to go to was up 50 cubic feet, and it was fishable, but I'm looking at what that may have done, that low pressure may have done to the blue-winged olives and the dirty water in particular. But not too far from where I live are some spring creeks. And they're relatively unfished spring creeks. And I thought that would be a really good alternative in the sense that spring creeks are spring creeks. They come out, the water comes from internally from the earth, and there's no high water, there's no runoff, there's no mud. It just comes right out of the earth. And in particular, where I ended up fishing, I wasn't too far from where it came out of the earth. So I figured that I would go down there and I'll do some nymphing down there, because I know I can nymph there and catch some big fish. So that was my intent. And it's winter. I'm on a spring creek, and there's no one there but me. And I'm anticipating blue-winged olives, but I'm ready to nymph fish. Well, I got there, and it became very apparent where I was parked, and I was able to catch a few fish there. And I had, not knowing, kind of working my way through it, I was using a blue-winged olive parachute, and about 8 inches behind it, I tied on a size 22 emergent midge pupa. Looks very much like a zebra midge. And I don't know, about 20 minutes later, just blind casting, I was able to catch a couple 8-inch, 10-inch trout out of there. And so I was now kind of clued in. So where I wanted to nymph fish, I have to hike in there. So rather than leave my dry fly rod behind, I just took the 2 rods, and walking along the trail, I walking along, and I saw this nice little run along the reeds, and I thought, well, let's see what's happening there. Within 5 seconds, I saw a fish up on the surface. And then it became very apparent from my observations of about 5 or 10 minutes that there were no blue-winged olives anywhere, and these fish had to be eating midges. And so I switched over to a suspended midge with a size 24 emergent midge pupa. Again, about 8 inches behind the suspended, and I was using the suspended emergent pattern because I was able to see where my emerge was, because the water's pretty fast through there, and I was able to do that. And that was the ticket right there. It was fish after fish from that point on. Nobody around. I was there probably 2 to 3 hours to see a single angler anywhere. I had this nice run all to myself, just walked right to it, watched it, saw fish rising, and immediately deduced that it had to be either a blue-winged olive or a midge. The fact that I saw no blue-winged olives flying anywhere on, above, or near the water clued me into these fish were eating the emergent midge pupa. And that's what we went to first, and I didn't have to make any changes thereafter. But I do know that it's very, very important that you get the right size. And I did spend some time seining the river, and I did pick up one midge about a size 24. And so I was really spot on with my accuracy. If I had been a size 22, just a size below that, I may not have had that good of fishing, because what these fish are eating are size 24, and we want to trigger that strike, we have to use a size 24. And that's what we do. We trick trout in the winter into eating our bugs, and they have to look exactly like the real bugs. We have to trigger that strike, and the trigger strike is the impression or image of that aquatic insect in the mirror or the meniscus, size and color. So my partner, actually, someone else who had actually been to another river close by, had that exact same thing happen to him, where the fish will swim up and then down. They're eating emergers, but they kept refusing his. And anytime you get that kind of refusal is you want to go up in size or smaller. And I was able to hit that just right. Had that happen to me, I would have been able to go right to something smaller, and that's the whole ticket. So when we're really talking about these spring creek fisheries, and I'll fish them all winter because they come right out of the earth, that means that water has been, by comparison to the outside temperature, the water is really warm. And I know that they're eating midges because that's happening almost all day long. It happens on all winter long. And so I was there, I had the right fly, and that's what happened. So the reality is in the winter, you need to really think small. You may have a midge happening in front of you, and you're not catching any fish at all. Nothing. You may have a refusal. Those are all key things that you need to go back to your fly box and go smaller. And when you're talking about size 24, good luck finding a size 24. It's hard to buy them online. It's hard to buy them in your local fly shops. Our fly shops around here are just retail stores. They're not clued into a destination fly shop where you would find those really small flies. So you're really relegated to tying them yourselves, or really doing some research and finding those small midges. That's the way it's going to be the whole season long. And I'm in Idaho here, and these are midge rivers, and we're not special here. The rivers that you have in the West, the midge is a midge is a midge. It doesn't matter if it's in Nevada, it doesn't matter if it's in New Mexico, it doesn't matter if it's in any state. Typically, the midges are what trout are feeding on in the winter. So the reality of all this is for the next 6 months, starting in late September all the way into almost May, these fish are only eating 2 bugs, blue winged olives and midges, and you need to be size appropriate for all those things. So if you're looking to do some winter fishing, look at your midge boxes and take a look at those and find those small midges. And if you don't have any, get some, because that can make the difference between having a 25, 30 fish day and only having a 3 fish day. And that just that little size difference can make all the difference in the world. So hopefully this will help you. Certainly you new anglers out there, get those smaller midges. And for all you old fish hobos out there who know this, you can chuckle a little bit and think in the back of your head, I need to make sure that I have mine too. And if I'm lucky, I'll see you on the river.